We are back just like that with the next reaction video. This one is going to be by Blackie Speaks, and basically it's going to be talking about why these rappers continue to date the same women. I'm curious to know just as much as y'all. I think I might have an answer for that, but let's see what he got to say about it. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Now, if you've been paying attention, you've probably noticed this pattern. Rappers keep dating the same women, same faces, same couples, same relationships popping up again and again. And this pattern shows up everywhere in the rap game. Even Drake and Future allegedly fell out after dealing with the same woman at one point. That's how small this circle really is. And here's the part nobody really breaks down.
Circle.
The dating pool in hip hop is very tiny, like way smaller than people think. And to really show you what I mean, let me start this video off with a quick story. A couple years ago, I met this mid-level rapper. He had a Billboard charting record at the time and some decent buzz to his name. I met him backstage during one of his shows, and that was because a friend of mine had gotten invited and I just happened to be the plus one. So I'm backstage or whatever, there's a bunch of people there, right? The music is loud, etc. And then I noticed something really interesting. In the corner of the room, right, there's these three girls, two in red, one in black. And immediately, I actually recognized these women because I'd seen those exact same girls at another rapper show about like 6 months earlier. So I asked my friend, I'm like, hey bro, who are those three girls in the corner? And then he looks at me and says, bro, they're just a part of the circle. At that point, I didn't really need to ask anything else.
Circle.
And for anybody who's confused, he was basically telling me they're regulars. They move around the whole industry. And that's just one real life example of this entire conversation. Once you really start paying attention, you realize rappers aren't dating from the whole world. They're dating from the same circles over and over. I'm talking same faces, same rooms, same rotation, just behind different doors. Now let's talk about some of those very popular faces in hip hop. Because if you've been anywhere near hip hop culture or even hip.
Okay, so who we got? Left to right, Selena Powell, Ruby Rose, India Love, Brittany Renner. Yeah, the usual suspects. Yeah, I have this thing where I'm like, okay, in the rap industry, I like to think of it like a college campus, or like the music industry period is a college campus, right? And with each campus, you have different halls that you go to. Rap being its own hall, rock, jazz, R&B. Whereas rap is probably like the most ratchet, the most controversial. And so you see all the same familiar faces. It's like, oh, yo, shorty over there, or dude over there. You know, that's kind of the energy I get with that. And so here you have, you know, your usual suspects. You know, okay, we know who they are. So that's what I'd be thinking.
Pop adjacent, you might recognize at least one of the women on the screen right now. Let's start with the one to the left, and that is Selena Powell, the self-proclaimed industry thot. I did say self-proclaimed, okay? Selena has built a career off of exposing rappers, finessing situations, turning private moments into clout, and she's taken pride in all this. This is her forte, like this is what she does. And then we have Ruby Rose, someone who got her first big breakthrough dating Playboy Cardi. She rode that momentum very nicely, got connected to the right people, and before you know it, she popped up in the Bad and Bougie music video. Wasn't Takeoff left off Bad and Bougie? RP to Takeoff. From there, Ruby Rose became a recognized face in the industry. She's dated several rappers in a game, built a massive IG presence, dropped music, launched an OnlyFans account. Now Ruby is interesting because she really understood the environment very early on and turned visibility into a business model. And unlike a lot of the women who got caught up in a game, Ruby caught on to the game early and capitalized off of all of it.
Oh, well, kudos to her. She took the Kim Kardashian formula and ran with it, because that's just what you do. You know, you rub shoulders with the right people, the right dudes, get you a little bag or whatever, and then you snowball that into your own business or whatever. So I give her that. She has the business acumen, but there's still that image that you have amongst the industry, like you've been passed around and all that. Like,
securing her own bag in the process. You gotta respect it. And then there's India Love, someone who didn't just pop up on Instagram like most people think. India actually first popped off on Tumblr back during that whole, aesthetic edits, it girl era. She built a serious following there before Instagram even became the move. And then after that, she picked up even more attention through reality TV and early IG culture. So by the time Instagram blew up, she was already a known face and slid right into that OG IG baddie / model, whatever you want to call it, right, lane. So she's been in the mix for over a decade, and her first major mainstream moment came from her relationship with the game. At the time, she was 18 and he was 35. 35.
Damn, my
I know.
guy.
It's crazy. Like 35?
18.
I know.
Yo, this what I be wanting to know. As a dude that's like I'm 36. I just turned 36. What was that? 3 days ago. So what I'm trying to understand is, what is it that an 18-year-old can do for you besides spend your money? Like, what else can she provide to you? I mean, some would say, oh, well, he can teach her this, that, and the other. I mean, she can't buy alcohol for you, or anything like that. So what is she going to do for you? She can't teach you anything. She can't spiritually connect with you in any way. Like, you've lived way more life than her at that point. Like, what? I don't get that. Can somebody in the comments explain that to me? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. And from that point forward, she's basically been connected to the same circle ever since. Last but definitely not least, we got Brittany Renner. She's another woman who's been in the mix for years. And yeah, she's mostly known for finessing the athletes, but she's been around the rap world as well. She dated
she messed with the athletes. She's like, they got the real bag. She was even
married to Kevin Gates for like 2 business days. Now, all of these women are basically the faces everybody recognize when people talk about the women who've been connected to the industry's biggest rappers for years. But here's the thing. This whole pattern, this rotation, this ecosystem, it didn't start with these women. Before the IG models, before the industry girl even became a term, it all started with one woman, a big throwback, a name from the blog era a lot of y'all will probably recognize, Kat Stacks.
I'm Kat Stacks. I got a lot of stories to tell. The people I exposed in my blog aren't all the people I've been with. I've been to Lil Wayne's crib.
She was like very
them,
viral, I think, when I was coming out of high school. You don't even hear nothing from her no more. Oh, got them ads.
For everyone tuned in during the blog era, you already know who this is.
What the hell happened to her?
The first real rap groupie the internet ever saw. She was loud, unfiltered, unapologetic, and the definition of I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say. And her whole brand was basically exposing rappers. And the thing about Kat Stacks is she actually ended up revealing something nobody was even thinking about back then. And that was that rappers only deal with a select group of women. Now, Kat wasn't just around rappers. She was inside the parts of the industry people never see. And because she was proudly shameless, she talked about everything that she saw behind the scenes.
It was all publicity, entertainment, because to them, I just see them as business, not friend type. My family's my friend, but they're just business.
Now that clip right there, that was Kat in her purest form. No filter, no secrecy, no protect the brand. Like, this woman she just didn't give a fuck, okay? And she moved exactly like that. In a lot of ways, Kat Stacks became the blueprint for what we now call the industry girl. And yeah, let's be honest, she was definitely clout chasing like crazy. That was her whole hustle. But here's the funny part. Even while she was doing it for attention, she was accidentally pulling back the curtain on something way bigger than her. She showed you the same thing over and over again. These rappers are basically all running through the same group of women. And once you put those pieces together, you finally understand why this keeps happening. It all comes down to one thing, and that word is access. Who gets in, who stays in, who even has the proximity to step into the room in the first place.
One of the first questions that someone asked was why rappers recycle the same women. I wonder why.
I'll tell you this.
I think, me personally, I think it's because it's just easier to deal with, women that your peers are already familiar with. So like, if you and Buddy are tight, you know what I'm saying, y'all kick it or whatever, hang out, he can already give you the 411 on shorty, like, oh, she's this way or she's that way, as opposed to getting someone that you don't know off the street, a regular degular plain Jane, and now you got to try to figure her out, if she's, crazy or delusional or whatever. Whereas if you're dealing with somebody that already was dealt with in your space, it's like, okay, well, I already know the 411 with you, so I already know how to move with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I think. But let's hear what Mr. Paul Pierce got to say on that.
I think they recycle the same women because are all in the same circle.
When people talk about access, here's what it really
basically
means.
What I just said.
Rappers aren't choosing from the world. Their environment is choosing for them. They deal with whoever is actually available in their world, not the millions of people the internet imagines. And once you take a look at the rooms they're actually moving in, studios, backstage, private events, late night sessions, that huge dating pool everybody thinks exists shrinks very fast. The circle becomes tiny, not because they don't have other options.
I'll give this to Rihanna. I'm sure she's had her rounds, but you know, she's definitely been 10 toes down with Rocky for the longest. And I mean, they what, 3 kids in? Oh, my battery is overheating.
Opportunities, but because those are the only people who even exist in their day-to-day reality. Because the truth is this, most artists spend their days locked in studios, catching last-minute flights, doing press runs, moving city to city, sleeping strange hours, surrounded by the same team, in the same environments on repeat. So even though they're technically meeting people every day, they're not making real connections with anybody. Their schedule doesn't allow it. Their security, depending on what level they're at, doesn't allow it. Their fame, depending on what level they're at, doesn't allow it. So naturally, they end up dating the people who are already in the mix, already in those rooms, already accustomed to their lifestyle.
Exactly.
And once you understand that, the whole question of why do all these rappers date the same women starts making a lot more sense. And here's the thing, this whole dating ecosystem they're in, it's basically one big recommendation loop. Because most of these dudes are not best friends, but they all move in the same exact circles. In other words, they're doing shows together, which means they're backstage together. They're at the same studio sessions. They share the same promoters, security, videographers. They hit the same clubs and the same after parties. And what happens is this. Once a woman gets close to one rapper or is even seen around him, her name automatically travels through that whole network. Yeah, she been around the homies. Yeah, she's solid. Yo, she a little crazy, but she's definitely loyal. She's safe. She knows how to move. Whatever, right? That's the recommendation loop. It's not organized. It's just how the industry operates. So when a woman enters that world, she's not just dating one rapper. She's basically introduced to the whole gang by default. Because once you're in that circle, you're accessible to everybody inside that world. To them, she's the safe option.
All right, y'all, I just had to pause the video because I had to let my camera cool down. That symbol on the screen was annoying me, but I think we good now. The video's almost over, so we about to just finish this. All right, let's go.
Be way better than these industry women, right? That's another conversation. She's just the familiar one. And yes, it's very transactional in most cases, but nobody looks at it like that. Because at the end of the day, these are all grown adults coming together, knowing what it is, and they're all benefiting from it somehow. So it's really just the unspoken system that's been a part of hip hop forever. Now let me give you guys a clear example of what I mean. Y'all know Sexy Red, right? Of course you do.
It is
now before
sexy.
Sexy Red blew up, she wasn't living this superstar lifestyle. On one interview with Sean Cotton from Say Cheese, she talked about having like $30 in her pocket.
She really came out of nowhere.
She was broke, she was grinding, she was trying to figure things out. And here's the interesting part, right? Before Sexy Red became popular, she was already spending a lot of time in Chicago, specifically around rapper FBG Duck, who was popping in Chicago before he got killed in 2020.
You met FBG Duck before he passed, and you traveled to Chicago to meet. Was it to meet him specifically?
No, it was to shoot my video.
And this footage of Sexy Red being around FBG Duck and a bunch of other people somewhere, I don't know where this is. This footage popped up when Sexy Red started blowing up.
Wait, what's your rap name?
I don't know yet. Song with Red though.
Now I'm not saying that anything happened between them. That's none of my business. Like generally, I don't even care, right? The point is this. She was already inside that environment. She was already around that circle. She already had proximity to the culture before she ever had a name in the game.
She was already
Even after
plugged
that,
in.
Sexy Red was allegedly connected to Chief Keef at one point, and I'm pretty sure they were dating. I'm pretty sure, but it's another conversation, right? Again, same circle, same ecosystem, same route to visibility. Sexy Red didn't pop out of nowhere. She was already moving through the exact rooms that eventually pulled her into the industry. And that's how this world works. Once you're inside those environments, you're not connected to one person. You're connected to the whole network.
Right.
And that network runs on one thing, familiarity. Because here's the part that nobody really ever talks about, which is something that I touched on earlier. Although these women may not be the best option or even, the most attractive one, they're usually the most predictable option. And when I say predictable, I mean this. They already understand the lifestyle, the chaos, the late nights, the pressure. So
yeah, because to go out here, like I said earlier, to get someone who isn't familiar with how y'all move in that industry, it's like you got to be on code. Certain things you can't do, certain things you can't say, certain acts you have to perform, just that and the other. Whereas if you're dealing with someone that already is on code, it's like, okay, well, I don't really got to tell you anything. You know what to do. So you're going to do this. And then when it's time for us to break out and go our separate ways, because that's usually a part of the script, then that's what it'll be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Rappers don't have to explain themselves or risk being misunderstood. And honestly, that applies to anybody. You don't have to be a rapper to relate to this, right? whatever life you live, you don't want to sit there breaking down your whole schedule, your stress, your routine to somebody you're dating. You just want somebody who gets it. And predictability goes a very long way in an industry where nothing else is predictable. Think about it like this. Being a rapper today means living in constant uncertainty. 1 month you're up, the next month you're praying the algorithm isn't killing you. One mistake can ruin an entire rollout. One headline can tank your momentum. There's no stable schedule, no routine, no structure. So when everything around you is chaos, your brain naturally gravitates towards whoever feels familiar. And psychologists call this the familiarity bias. You don't need to graduate from Harvard to understand this. It's very simple. Your brain likes what it recognizes. Your brain trusts what it's seen before, even if it isn't the best choice. It's the easier choice because you know it. When your whole life is unpredictable, the familiar woman, the one already in those rooms, already around the team, already used to the lifestyle, automatically becomes the safer pick. There's no time to slow walk a new relationship, no time to figure out who's real and who's clout chasing. So the people already in that circle, the faces they've seen or watched move in that environment, either on social media or in real life, end up becoming...
It's like back in high school, you know, when you had all your different cliques of kids, you know, you had the, you know, preppy kids, and then you had the kids who were like, you know, cool and, you know, crack jokes and stuff like that. And then you had your, you know, kids who were really into their books, into their studies. I'm not going to say the N word, and I'm not talking about, you know, but y'all know what I'm talking. I'm not going to say that, but the kids who were really into their studies and their books, and everybody just knows they role. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to come from the table with all the kids with the studies and all that and go hang with the kids that are like super, super popular, because you don't know the code. You don't know the lingo. So yeah, it's like that in a way.
The safer choice by default. I remember something Tupac said back in the 90s. He spoke about this exact topic in one of his records. The song is called All About You. And the hook goes, every city we go, every video, I see the same hoes. And at the end of the song, Snoop Dogg jokes about flipping through different music videos and seeing the same exact women in every single one. So they've been talking about this for decades. The only difference now is that the internet made it impossible to miss. Social media amplifies everything. Who's dating who popped out with who unfollowed who. And that pattern becomes a form of promotion in itself, because when two recognizable names link up, it's not just a...
Like, I would imagine, like, with this situation here with Wiz and Amber, it was really left field. Nobody, I think, was really expecting these two to link up, considering who she was with before. She was with Kanye all that time. But I'm pretty sure Wiz got the download on her and what she's like, you know, this, that, and the third. Maybe not from Kanye directly, but someone affiliated with Kanye probably gave him the spiel, because at this time, this is Cabin Fever, yeah, Taylor Allardyce Wiz. Like, this was when Wiz was like, not saying that Wiz, you know, I still listen to his music, but this is when he was like on top of the damn rap scene. You know what I'm saying? All of his mixtapes was going crazy. His albums, I'm trying to think, what was that album? Oh, Only Nigga in First Class. That album came out around this time, I remember. So, yeah. But, you know.
Relationship, it's a headline. It's a storyline. It's free marketing on both sides. The circle didn't get smaller. The visibility just got louder. And that's thanks to social media. At the end of the day, it all comes down to proximity. When the same 5 people are in the same rooms, living the same lifestyle every single day, of course they're going to end up dating the same people. Of course, we see the same faces linking up. So the real question is this: does hip-hop actually have a dating problem, or is it just a lifestyle that comes with it? The environment.
I was really rooting for these two. Not to keep stopping the video, it's about to be over, but I was really rooting for these two. I was like, yo, you know, Wiz got him a baddie or whatever, but didn't work out.
The reality of being stuck in a world where proximity decides
People
everything.
used to compare me to him because I'm tall and skinny, or I was tall and skinny like that.
Dating the same women? If you made it this far, drop a like on this video. Clearly this conversation resonated with you. Definitely let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this entire conversation, and catch you guys in the next video, man. Peace. I'm out.
All right, y'all, and that is going to be the end of that video. So like I was saying earlier before my camera died, yeah, pretty much what he said, and what I think a lot of people would agree with me on, is that these people are already connected to each other. You know, they know each other in that way. So yeah, I forgot to pause it. you know, they know each other, you know, quite well. So it's easy for them to just be like, yo, go deal with him, or go deal with this person, go deal with that person, as opposed to getting someone in my world that's just like day to day, don't really know, you know, the code and the industry rules and stuff like that. So it makes sense. But yeah, y'all drop some comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about this one. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this, I got people watching, I'm gonna need you to subscribe. All right, let's run this up. We got a little tribe going here. And so yeah, it's your boy Robbie, and I am out.